Good day, everyone, and thanks so much for joining the McAllen Cable Network. I'm Roxanne Lerma. We have a very special guest joining us in the studio today, the brand new Border Patrol Chief of the Rio Grande Valley Sector, Mr. Kevin Oakes. Thank you so much for joining us, Chief.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So,
I'm happy to be here.
Brand new, Chief, a
Brand
whole
new.
week on the job. Your first impressions of South Texas?
It's wonderful. Weather's beautiful, nice folks. There's a lot to be said about the Rio Grande Valley. Future economic powerhouse. I understand they're going to build a medical college, and a lot of other things are coming. You know, trade and travel. I mean, I think there's a lot of great opportunities for South Texas in the future.
Excellent. So you did a stint in D.C., so
I did.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, so I started off in Nogales, Arizona in 1985, which is a long time ago, and moved around Arizona a little bit. I did a tour in El Paso, Texas. I did a tour in Del Rio, Texas as well, and then transferred up to Buffalo, New York, and I was the chief up there for many years, and then had the opportunity to expand my horizons and got selected to go to Washington, D.C., which is quite an experience.
Is it different?
Well, you know, D.C. is a beautiful town. I mean, it's, you know, it's the center of the free world. A lot of beautiful things happening. You know, you have Congress and the Senate and everybody there. It is the center of gravity for everything for the United States. It's very expensive to live. Everything costs $20. The apartment I was renting cost $2,500 a month, but it's an experience because you get to a real strategic overview of everything that happens in DHS, Customs and Border Protection, and also the Border Patrol. So it's a must-do tour if you want to be in the leadership track.
Okay, so you've got over 25 years under your belt with the Border Patrol. Why the Rio Grande Valley?
Well, the Rio Grande Valley is the focus of border security for the next 3 to 5 years. We have, you know, you have a lot of narcotics. You have this big flow of Central and South Americans coming in through the Rio Grande Valley. There's a lot of focus from DHS. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Jay Johnson, was down here. You had the new commissioner, one of his first stops. Gil Kurlikowski, the CBP commissioner, came down to the Rio Grande Valley. So the focus is really here in the Rio Grande Valley in terms of, you know, making the community safer, because that's the ultimate mission of DHS is to reduce the risk and make the community a safer place for everybody, not only here in the United States, but also in Mexico, because Mexico has a, you know, the both sides are interconnected, and, you know, we have to work on helping the Mexican government make their community safe as well, because it affects everybody.
Okay, so Chief, you kind of like laid it out there for us. I mean, this is a pretty intense area, lots of activity. What's kind of going to be your first order of business now that you're on the job?
Well, the first order of business is to meet all the key stakeholders, you know, and get to know all the sheriffs, the chiefs of police, the mayors, you know, how the community works, you know, so we can become better partners and interact, because, you know, we have over 3,000 agents and then hundreds of civilian employees, and they're all part of this community as well. And so, you know, we want to make sure we do everything we can to be part of the community and be a positive part of the community. And so that's part of the focus. Part of the focus is understanding how the operations work, you know, looking through all those things, taking care of the boys and girls that are here and working every day out there, because it's a 24/7 operation, and the families make a big sacrifice for their agents to do what they're doing. And so, you know, the main focus basically is to get to know what's going on and then do whatever I can to improve the situation and make the border safer.
You kind of mentioned that you want to reach out to the sheriffs and our local law enforcement officers. Is that kind of a big priority for you to just make this a big joint effort between all of you?
Absolutely, because the Border Patrol can't do it on its own. You know, we have a very good relationship with the state of Texas, DPS, you know, all the county chiefs of police and police officers. I mean, they're big supporters. You know, they're an integral part of our operation. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do as well as we do, because they're key to what goes on here. You know, they know the lay of the land and have been very supportive, and we can't get this job done without them.
Okay, I read a little bit about some of your comments, and you were talking about you're going to continue to push for more resources for our area. Is that correct?
It is. You know, The border down here, there's a lot of conservation lands and preservation areas, and working with the Department of Interior and the state of Texas, to be able to have access to those areas, but without, causing any harm or disruption, because, we're all environmentalists too. We want to maintain and preserve, the beauty of Texas, but we also have a mission to do, and that's, working with them to figure out how we can get in there and patrol without causing any harm. And that requires a little bit more work. We've enhanced our horse patrol and ATVs, so we were trying to put a little less footprint, so to speak, on the environment. We're looking at technology for the future, putting up mobile and fixed sites to have complete situational awareness and surveilling the border. Looking at some infrastructure projects, to give access to the border to the agents and our other law enforcement partners. And over the course of the last year or so, we've brought in over 500 new agent trainees, and the future is probably going to be some more people. We have a current operation where we've brought in other agents from South Texas who are seasoned agents to try to help us out, while the new agents get trained up. Because it takes a good year, 18 months for a new agent to be, completely, fully functional. And so this first year or so, they're getting their feet wet and learning the lay of the land and learning how to be a Border Patrol agent.
So a lot of new developments for your
There
department.
is, yeah.
Okay,
it's very
so
exciting.
I also heard about the South Texas campaign. It's an initiative by the Border Patrol. So tell us a little bit about it, because it's fairly new, and how effective that's been.
South Texas campaign has been very effective because, it talks about strategic objectives. And it's housed out of Laredo sector, and it's run by Robert Harris, who's the South Texas campaign commander up there. And what it does is basically puts everybody together on the same page, because the success of what happens on the border links in operations, intelligence, our investigative partners, all the federal, state, and local partners, into one sort of common campaign to make the border safer. And so far it's been very successful. There's been a lot of targeted and focused efforts. The campaign works into Mexico, working with the federal police down there and the Mexican military, and it's been very successful. It's a lot of things have been done positively, targeting some of those real bad guys, not only here in the States, but also in Mexico.
Excellent. Okay, so lastly, Chief, what do you think it's going to be like to oversee a sector like ours, the Rio Grande Valley sector?
It's great, because I have some great people, and they really want to do the right thing and take care of business, and they're part of the community as well, and they love what they're doing. They want to be, contributors to the community, and they want to make the community safer, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about, reducing the risk so everybody can prosper in this community.
Okay, Chief Kevin Oakes, thank you so much for joining us in the studio, and we certainly know that you're going to be a familiar face here in the Rio Grande Valley. Thank you so much for tuning into the McAllen Cable Network. I'm Roxanne Ledema.